So yeah, my name is Mark Sage. I'm the executive director of a global alliance called the ARIA. So the ARIA is a global membership-funded non-profit alliance purely focusing on accelerating the adoption of enterprise AR. Okay, we've had a number of talks today, PTC, lots of other organizations. There is a lot of things happening in enterprise AR, but there's also lots of challenges. We've been going now for a number of years and basically bringing together the ecosystem to help look at some of the challenges that organizations have. We're actually a few more members than this now. We're 54 members. We have companies that are enterprises that have deployed or deploying AR, so companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Newport News Shipbuilding, Bosch as examples. We have lots of providers of AR technologies, likes of PTC, Upskill, and a bunch of others. Then we also work with non-commercial organizations, universities, government agencies, research institutes that are often on the leading edge thinking of AR. So what are we actually doing within this area? Well, it boils down to four things, really. The first one is about thought leadership, is about creating, curating, and delivering content that allows business decision makers to make informed decisions to invest in AR. So the kind of things I'm talking about is use cases, and we've seen plenty of those today. Case studies, so examples of those use cases actually being deployed. But more importantly, the return on investment. How much does this stuff cost? But more importantly, how much am I going to make and how much am I going to save? The next thing is about bringing the network together. We do it in a variety of ways. We have our own kind of workshop. We call it a workshop rather than a conference. We support conferences like this. We also have some committees that I'm going to come on to in a minute. The third, and something we think is really important, is about making sure the next set of skilled workers are ready to work in the enterprise AR space. So working with universities, helping them to define courses, jobs boards, anything we can do to make sure that we have a next set of skilled workers. And then something which is really important is about reducing the barriers to adoption. We have a number of committees that are doing work basically to try and break down the barriers. So things like safety, okay? It's okay, they've seen lots of technology here being deployed, but actually when you try and put it in a large organization, things like safety are a huge concern for them, okay? Security, similarly. What we're also doing is collecting these use cases. So we have a whole bunch of use cases that any enterprise can go and have a look on the website. One of the important things we've done is the research committee is that we basically ask all the members, what do you need to research? What's important for you and what do you need to know to be able to deploy your solutions? Every member gets an opportunity to make a proposal, and then when the proposals are put together, we have a little pitching session, and then whichever one wins, the area then funds and delivers that research. So you can see the first one we did was about wearable security. Okay, it's a big issue. No one's really talking about what's going on. So we used the company, we got the latest on what's happening in wearables, we built a number of security models using industry standards one, and then made it available for the area members. The second piece of research we've done was an AR ROI calculator. PTC mentioned it before, but wouldn't it be better if you had one that the ecosystem had developed, then anybody can use it, and it's a neutral ROI calculator. So we did lots of interviews, found out all the different benefits and the different ways that you can improve ROI and justify ROI and put that into a calculator. The third piece of research we did, it was called a human factors and safety. So basically the whole idea is when you try and deploy an AR solution within a big organization, quite often we find this a lot, they miss out a whole bunch of requirements. They miss out safety and human factor issues. So we've put together almost like a long questionnaire that you can go through. So questions like, from a hardware perspective, you know, is it damp conditions or dark conditions or light conditions or any of those kind of questions? And then as you go through that kind of process, and it's developed so you can be either a project manager or a developer or a safety manager, by asking those questions, it will give you some answers. It will say, well, these are the kind of standards you need to be thinking about. Here's some of the kind of requirements you need to be thinking about. And what we're trying to do is reduce that risk and learn from all the other organizations that have developed AR solutions. So we've almost got a kind of knowledge management piece. So that's also, that research has been made available for the members. What we're doing, the fourth piece of research, is a very deep dive into the manufacturing industry. We're using a university in Germany that have been interviewing, I think it's up to 70 different companies now, to really find out what their challenges are trying to deploy AR within their organizations. And the report and the framework will be, again, something you can reuse time and time again to go through these different issues. We've just opened up the fifth research project that, again, members can make proposals, and we should be delivering that later on in this year. Just touching on the safety committee as well, one of the things we've delivered is a AR safety infographic, which is actually available from the website if you go to the ARIA.org and download that infographic. And it's just trying to get people thinking about not only some of the issues with AR from a safety perspective, but also some benefits. We strongly believe within the area that there's a load of benefits you can deliver from AR from a safety perspective. And then finally, one of the other initiatives, we're putting together a human factors kind of interest group, because we believe there's lots of interesting conversations to be had, and no one's really having it from an enterprise perspective. So this, again, is a kind of a virtual group where we can start to talk about what's the best practice, what kind of challenges are we trying to overcome, and how we can do anything to help each other deliver the best experiences and share those experiences. So it'll be great if enterprises, once they've deployed one solution, if they move to another one, they would see the same sort of UI. So, as I said, the ARIA, it's a global organization. If anybody's interested in the space or would like to talk to me, be very happy to talk about what we're doing and how we're benefiting the wider ecosystem.